Now let's get down to business. The term hide is commonly used for leather made from larger animals such as a cow or buffalo, bison, whereas the term skin is often used in reference to smaller animals such as sheep, goats, alligators, snakes, stuff like that. Now, skins are thinner than hides, which naturally make them lighter weight. You'll typically find skins used for small items, also as linings in larger items like a handbag. Now, not all other skins or hides have the exact same shape, but there's a basic framework that applies to most leather, and understanding that framework will help you narrow down the best fit for your project. Now, this should look pretty familiar. It's basically the same diagram as you'll find on your parts of the hide worksheet. If you haven't printed that out, pause the video and print it out. Now, the cowhide is the most common type of leather, and most of the examples I show you in this course will be cowhide. Here's the general shape of a leather hide. If you were to purchase this entire piece, that's referred to as a whole hide. But since many people don't need an entire hide, it's often cut down and sold into smaller quantities. Again, this is a whole hide, but if you split it right down the middle, half of the hide, each piece is called a side. That's represented by A plus C plus E or B plus D plus F on your worksheet. And here's an example of what an actual side looks like. Now, this picture is of a vegetable tanned side, but this information applies to chrome tan leather also. Now, if you don't know the difference, go back and watch Module 1. As we move through the parts of a hide, go ahead and fill in the appropriate information on your worksheet. Physically writing this down will help you retain it. We'll get into more numbers in the next module, but in general, if a side is larger than 12 square feet, it's probably buffalo or cow. A cow side is typically around 25 square feet, but I've also seen much larger hides. Hey, some cows are really big. Big cow, big side. Cow on a diet, small side. Each side is composed of 3 basic parts: a bend, a shoulder, and a belly. A bend is shown as either C or D on your diagram. The fibers of a bend have a strong, tight structure. That's a good thing. For most leather workers, this is the ideal portion of the hide. A shoulder, shown as A or B on your diagram, now, the fiber structure of the shoulders are looser and more uneven when compared to the bend. As a beginning leather worker, shoulders are a good place to start because they allow you to create a respectable product without breaking the bank. I often use shoulders when I'm working on a prototype design because they allow me to get a feel for the leather and work out any potential design issues without wasting a ton of money on higher priced portions of the hide. A belly is shown as E or F on your diagram. This portion typically has uneven thickness and a looser fiber structure, causing it to be somewhat stretchy. Think about our bellies. The skin in that area is prone to stretching. Now, for some of us, it expands and contracts a lot. The belly of a hide is no different. Bellies are typically the least expensive part of the hide, and that's because they're more limited in their use. Now, while bellies are also a decent alternative to use when experimenting, I would not suggest using them for a valuable heirloom piece. However, if you intend on getting into creating molded pieces, the belly may be worth testing out. Whew. Are you still with me? I know this is a lot, but hang in there. We're almost done. If we combine two bends, that's area C plus D, that is referred to as a butt. And I like big butt. Just kidding. Now, that's usually the most expensive single piece because of the strong, tight structure of the fibers. We mentioned a single shoulder, either A or B, but sometimes shoulders are sold as one piece, A and B together. And guess what that's called? Yep, a double shoulder. Finally, if a bend and a shoulder are sold as one, either A and C or B and D, that's referred to as a back. Oops, there we go. Now, one final piece of important info. Regardless of what portion of the hide you purchase, each piece of leather has a grain side and a flesh side. Now, the grain side is the top layer. It's typically the smoother of the two sides and is where the character and distinct markings of the hide are seen. It's the side of the hide that's closest to the animal's hair before it was removed. Think about humans. The grain side of our skin would be the part that you see and touch when you look at a person. That's our grain side. Now, on the opposite side, the flesh side, is the underneath layer of the leather. That's the part closest to the animal's fat, blood vessels, internal organs, and you get the drift. The flesh side of a human skin would be the side of their skin that you can't see when you look at them. Yes! We've navigated through the basic parts of the hide. Now, I know that was a lot, but remember, you have your worksheet to refer to, and if you need ever to refresh your memory, you can always rewatch this video for some visual reinforcement. Now, head on over to lesson 2. I've got some great stuff waiting for you there. See ya.